And welcome back, Helldivers. It's the weekend finally. So plenty of hell diving to be doing this weekend. Now, taking a look at this major order that it seems like we are falling behind on. We did manage to get over to a major order planet, but we were obviously buried behind a couple barriers before being able to get there. It looks like we will take Alaraf this evening, early morning, probably 7.5 hours until we can actually liberate this planet. No mega city, so that's why it seems like it's been going a little bit slower because we don't have those jumps every so often. Right now, looking at total Helldiver count, we're only at 45% of divers throughout the week have been actually actively working on the major order between Alamax 7 and Alaraf. It's been under 50% for the most part. Whenever I was diving a couple nights ago, I did see about 56%. But again, most people don't seem to want to play Illuminate just because of the types of units, Leviathans, even though I didn't see any through about 10 missions. They're still a threat that are out there that you can't really deal with, or there's no benefit to dealing with them, right? But majority of divers are not landing here in Illuminate territory before the weekend actually kicks off here in America, at least. But once we do liberate Alaraf, we have a choice to make, right? We have two targets, and I am using the companion app because this is giving us a little bit more information than what you can see in game. All you can see is we don't have access to these planets, which is not helpful at all when trying to figure out where to go to next. And if you look at both of them, they both have one city. They're both 3-star cities, but even the companion app doesn't list the name or the liberation percentage of those cities. Now, if we look at Oasis, it also has one 3-star city. So if we take a look at its city, it's again 3-star, and that's a 42.86% liberation for liberating that one city. Now, that should be our goal, to liberate that city as soon as it becomes available, if it's not at the beginning on either one of these planets. Looking at the resistance rate on both of these, right, 1.07 on Hydrobius and 0.71 on Carlia. While this one is lower, which may tempt you to say, hey, I want to go for this one first. If we take Hydrobius first, then we completely cut off Carlia, and we've had that siege opportunity on both bug and bot fronts in the last couple weeks, and we've seen that go to a negative 0.5%, meaning it's giving us an additional 0.5%. Right, and now if we move the DSS to these planets, or to Carlia, with that negative 0.5, we're getting an extra 10% on top, making that a negative 0.55 essentially, plus whatever our liberation, which if we're doing still maintaining this 4.2, that's almost 6% per hour that we'd be churning through on Carlia. So that's why I am a huge proponent to taking Hydrobius next, even with that higher resistance rate. Okay, now looking at what the biome looks like, this picture, if you recognize it, looks exactly like Arata Prime, right? So you can expect maps very similar, very rocky, dry, arid ones, little puddles of water here and there, but it's not going to be anything that's going to slow you down in terms of the water itself. You do have that diurnal intense heat. That means by day, you're going to have higher temperatures that increase your stamina drain, and your speeds up your heat buildup in weapons. And that is targeting the laser weapons. Those are a huge favorite against the Illuminate, right? Using the laser cannon to help mow down the hordes of voteless. It's much easier to hit the elevated overseers with that. It takes out harvesters, flesh mobs, lights them on fire. All around, that is a very solid support weapon choice. If I'm not taking an HMG, I'm taking a laser cannon. But with this diurnal heat, if you're playing on the daytime missions, I would say maybe think about taking an HMG. It's not going to be a massive nerf to using laser weapons. Just be aware of it. But there's always that chance, if you're in an operation for a long time, that it'll shift from night to day on you, or day to night, and then you'll start getting your normal usage back, right? And then obviously there are the tremors. That's going to slow down any ground units. I haven't played Illuminate with tremors in a super long time, so I do not remember off the top of my head if the elevated overseers are impacted by those tremors. But if you've played one of those planets lately, please drop a comment down below and let us know if the elevated overseers are still flying, because if so, that means you're stunned and slowed for a little bit, while those elevated overseers are just taking pot shots at you. All right, but I would definitely say go for Hydrobius first tonight once we do liberate Alarath. Right, and then looking over here at Carlia, very similar biome to Ballistica or Hellmire, right? Because you have those fire tornadoes, and when those fire tornadoes pop up, that's where you're going to get the intense heat. Again, with the same impact as that diurnal heat, it's just whenever you have the fire tornadoes, that's when you're going to start to experience this. With the increased stamina drain and laser weapons being degraded slightly in terms of heat buildup, might need to actually reload those weapons or swap to another one and let it cool down for a little bit. Right, and again, that's 0.71 resistance rate, and if we have this one isolated, then we will be able to take this much faster, right? Especially once that city comes free, go in there and drop in city number 1. It's called here in the companion app. We'll actually get a peek at what those city names are once we have the planet itself unlocked later tonight. Okay, but Carlia ultimately is the goal of the major order, right? And I think the major order is kind of spelled out in a way. The arrowhead, as we have all seen and experienced, does not flat out say a lot of things. So I think they were nudging us specifically with how they laid out the list on this side. Alarath first, and then Hydrobius, and then followed by Carlia. I think that was their subtle hint as to this is the order that you should go in to complete this major order, right? And then obviously a strategic opportunity at the top. We have not made it, but we do have about 3.5 days to finish up these 2.25 planets for liberation. I think we can do this, but it will be close. And it's going to be really hard if Hellmire does come under attack at any point. Hopefully not, but we did see that towards the end of the bot major order last week, but that was also because we blitzed through it so fast. We still had like 2.5 days left, so then we had Hellmire pop up as a defense, and then the final target for the bots also popped up as a target for defense, and easily squashed both of those because the Helldivers were all over it. You guys were phenomenal on that last major order. But this one's going to struggle, especially on the Illuminate front. Major orders over on there always struggle, right? But that's what's going on the Galactic War. If you guys like this informational on major orders and kind of what's going on, what could we do to win it, please hit that like and subscribe down below, help support the channel. And then I will be probably going live once my kids are in bed later tonight. So I will see you on the war front, Helldivers.